Tonight in the news.
We want to hope that this peace will prevail even after the elections are over.
Tension continues to loom as Kenyans anxiously wait for results. Presidential candidate Raila Odinga prays for peace.
To be in Busongora South, decampaigning the NRM candidate and campaigning for the DP candidate.
Minister Norbert Mao pitches camp in Kasese to campaign for DP candidate ahead of Busongora South County by-election. Also tonight, hundreds of people from Kenya and Uganda gather to celebrate cultural diversity.
Look about working the short side.
And in sports, Uganda national rugby team knocked out of the 2022 World Rugby Challenger Series at the quarter-final stages. Pleasure to have you here on PM Edition on CTV. I'm Kalachi Brian with Isaac Richards on sign language interpretation. Good evening. Starting us off today is Kenyan presidential candidate and Azimio la Umoja party chief Raila Odinga, who has today delivered his first public address since the elections. Odinga, who was speaking at Acts St. Francis Church in Karen, revealed that he wants to become an instrument to bring peace, heal, unite and keep the hope alive in Kenya and prayed for peace to prevail. His address, however, comes just days after a scuffle broke out at Bomas, where the tallying of votes is currently taking place in Kenya. Soy Mugabe brings us more.
Yesterday, anti-riot police took action as chaotic scenes unfolded at Kenya's National Tallying Center at the Bomas, halting the ongoing verification of presidential votes. The drama ensued after allies of opposition leader Raila Odinga cited alleged irregularities in the process by election officials. Odinga's chief agent, Saita Bao Ole Kachori, walked to the podium and shouted into the microphone. Kenya's hotly contested presidential vote has been marred by allegations of rigging. However, Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga preached peace while attending a church service at the SCK St. Francis Church in Karen. Raila, who was giving his first public address since Kenya went to pause, thanked the country for peaceful campaigns and elections.
To thank the Lord that the campaigns have been peaceful and the elections also have been peaceful so far. And we just want to hope that this peace will prevail even after the elections are over. Yes, because we are part of and parcel of one nation, and we want Kenya to be even stronger.
Raila quoted a message on peace from St. Francis of Assisi, a renowned Italian Catholic friar, revealing that he wants to be an instrument of peace.
I want to share, and I will quote from St. Francis of Assisi, and which he says, "Make me an instrument of your peace." And this is what he says, "Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith."
The service was also attended by other renowned politicians, including his deputy Martha Karua, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, and former Baringo Senator Gideon Moi, among others. Meanwhile, the country's presidential election results have yet to be announced, with millions of Kenya waiting with bated breath for the final results from the country's electoral commission. Final results are due to be announced by August 16th, as required by law. If neither of the two frontrunners receives more than 50% of the vote, Kenya will have its first presidential runoff.
The President General of the Democratic Party and Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, has pitched camp in Kasese district, where he is campaigning for the Democratic Party candidate Bernadette Businje in the Busongora County by-elections, despite having signed an agreement with the ruling party NRM. Tony Patil reports.
On in DP to work with the NRM by
Late last month, Democratic Party President General Norbert Mao signed a cooperation agreement with President Yoweri Museveni and ruling National Resistance Movement, where he pledged to work together with the government in power. He was the following day appointed the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Despite having signed a cooperation agreement with the ruling National Resistance Movement, the Democratic Party have gone on to field a candidate to vie for Busongola South County seat against other political parties, the National Resistance Movement, National Unity Platform, and the Forum for Democratic Change. DP President Norbert Mao has also gone to Kasese district to campaign and support for the DP candidate Bernadette Businge, who is among the 7 candidates competing for Busongola South County parliamentary seat, which fell vacant after a decision by the Court of Appeal.
It is perfectly normal for Norbert Mao, DP President, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, to be in Busongola South, decampaigning the NRM candidate and campaigning for the DP candidate.
Norbert Mao says that he cannot praise NRM when Kasese district is yearning for truth and justice.
If there's a part of Uganda that needs truth, it is Kasese. If there's a part of Uganda that needs justice, it is Kasese. There are land conflicts. It looks like animals have more rights than human beings in some parts of Kasese.
Mao, who spoke to journalists before traversing the constituents, where he sold the DP ideology against the NRM ideology for the election slated for 18th of August.
So the cooperation is based on very clear parameters. So I am loyal to my party. That's why I'm campaigning. Now, when a leader of a party like me is cooperating with NRM and is appointed a minister, and another DP is actually also going to be appointed a minister. When you have competition, competition does not mean you can't cooperate.
Mao's presence in the district adds to other big men and women from National Resistance Movement, National Unity Platform, Forum for Democratic Change, who are already in the constituency campaigning for their respective candidates. The State Minister of ICT, Godfrey Baluko Kabyanga, is confident in the NRM winning the by-election.
Now, as NRM, we are not ready to lose this election because our target was 2026, we should take the whole district.
Other candidates who are also taking part in the election had this to say.
With the power of the people, with our determination, with our strength and courage, we are ready to defend this vote to the last of our seats.
People think this thing is going to be lightly, like that one in Soroti. Here in Kasese, the situation will be very different.
The people of Busongola South will elect their leaders on Thursday, 18th of August, in what is promising to be a heated election between the ruling party and the opposition. Tony Patila Humza, CTV, PM edition.
Members of National Unity Platform in Makindye Division are demanding for the unconditional release of one of the leaders they claim was arrested by police without a specific reason. According to local leaders, the councillor, who has since been identified as Godfrey Katuluntu, was arrested near the home of NRM Party Secretary General Richard Todong. Take a look.
According to members of National Unity Platform in Bukasa Makindye Division, Godfrey Katuluntu was arrested and detained at Kabalagala Police on Tuesday. Katuluntu, who is still being held at Kabalagala Police Station, was campaigning for Sarah Kaitesi, who is vying for the position of Bukasa Parish Woman Councillor in a by-election to replace Rita Kansime, who died recently. Now leaders from Makindye Division want the councillor to be released unconditionally because he has been detained for more than the mandatory 48 hours.
This election is just of L33 councillor, but you want to turn it into a war. We shall not contain this all the time. We are tired of it. We want Katuluntu to go out of prison. We want justice because since he was arrested, he has passed 48 hours, which are recommended by the law for someone to be taken to court.
He's passed the required time as required by the law. Leave alone that he's in the custody, but he's brutally, we don't know his RFS status. We are questioning, we want to grant visit, but they have denied us the chance to look at him.
National Unity Platform officials from Makinde Division are now accusing the Secretary General of the ruling party, the National Resistance Movement, Richard Odong, of ordering the arrest of Katuluntu.
Bw'aba agaaniddwa okuteebwa olunaku lw'enkya tetugenda kubategeeza ate tetugenda kubeegayirira.
Bwe muba mulaba nti nno temusobola kuvuganya mu mirembe obululu temubutegekanga.
Despite the claims, Bukasa Paris chairperson Yasin Omal says Katuluntu and his friends were arrested for trespassing.
And to make it wise, the young boys who were with them threw stones into Honorable Todong's property. That's when the soldiers came out. They were disciplined because they fired in the air. Eventually, they arrested one. Others ran away. So, looking for vote is not bad, but then you have to see, to know where you are going to look for vote. You see? And also, if you ask, and if they tell you to go, you just go. And also throwing stones in somebody's property, that was violating private, in fact, it's a criminal trespass.
The deputy police spokesperson for Kampala Metropolitan, Lokowe Sigire, says the case file has since been sent to the Directorate of Public Prosecutions as investigations go on.
It's true, the suspect has been in our custody since Tuesday. He was arrested on allegations of criminal trespass. This is after he and others wanted to cross and enter the home of one of the NRM leaders, Tadong. He has been in our custody since then. The unfortunate bit, the matter was investigated and the file forwarded to the Office of the Resident State Attorney for perusal and advice. Unfortunately, the file has since not returned back to the police, but we are looking into giving him bond as we investigate further.
The Bukasa Woman Councillor by-elections are scheduled to take place on Thursday, 18th August 2022. Story compiled by Chris Semalemu Samakula for CTV PM Edition.
Ugandan youths have been urged to interest themselves in agriculture to help address the challenges of unemployment that they are currently grappling with. Some of the ways that youth can adopt include climate-urban farming, where a person gets to earn a living by carrying out climate-smart agriculture in a small space.
21-year-old Denise Acheng became pregnant during the 2 years of lockdown during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to Acheng, the 2 years were really hard on her because of her mother, who was taking care at that time, also lost her job. In a bid to escape the poverty, Acheng sought help from Holistic Actions for Development and Empowerment, HADE, an organization that teaches climate urban farming to residents of Nakawa Division. According to Rona Ahumuza from Hade, people are taught how to grow different varieties of vegetables throughout the season to make sure they do not run out of food.
However much they be in places that are very congested without any place for farming, but they can use discarded materials like broken buckets, broken jerry cans, polythene bags, sacks to plant vegetables and food that they can eat at home, as well as for sale.
The initiative, which was introduced during the lockdown as a social enterprise, has managed to empower over 300 youths.
Right now we sell vegetables as well as do the training. We usually give out seeds and seedlings at a free cost to make sure that at least every person has access to food.
For one to benefit from such agriculture, they need only a small piece of land.
One needs soil, fertile soil. Even if it's not fertile, one can make it fertile using organic things like the potato, banana peels that you're using in the kitchen. And the seedlings we usually give them out for free.
The training center, which has since been established in Kamwanyi zone located in Port Bell, Luzila, is now where many youths go to acquire skills. They now want government to provide the right enabling environment for youths to engage into profitable ventures.
As you can see me, as I came here, it wasn't an easy journey from the start, but as time went on, I benefited a lot from it.
According to Acheng, If these measures are adopted, the food crisis facing the nation will end. At the moment, the program is still going on to empower more youths who are disenfranchised and are in need of help. Shamim Natebo with Tendo, CTV, PM Edition.
Imran Khan, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, hails Foreign Affairs Minister for India for purchasing Russian oil despite pressures from the West. That and more in our second segment of PM Edition.
Three words: convenience, passion, and pride. Introducing the KCCAFC app made for you to interact with the best football club in Uganda, giving you the latest news, transfers, membership options, merchandise online shop, match ticket booking, and fan zone instant messenger. To download the beta app, go to Google Play Store on your Android and search for KCFC. Download the app, sign up, and voila! You're in.
Thank you for keeping it CTV. I'm Kalachi Brian with Isaac Luchams for your sign language interpretation. Now, people of Eastern Uganda have been urged to embrace their culture and heritage at the Ateke Carnival, which is held every year with an aim of uniting those belonging to the Nilo Hamite family. Hundreds today showcased their unique costumes, art, crafts, and games in what is seemed to be a celebration of love and uniqueness. CTV's Hope Nyongereza was there to file this report.
It was a cultural bonanza like no other today, as hundreds of people took to Mawanda Gardens in Chireka to take part in what has been dubbed as the 6th edition of the Ateke Carnival. The Ateke Carnival today brought together one of the largest tribes from Eastern Uganda and the Karamojong, who are all part of the Nilo Hamite family that descended in the northeastern Uganda. Other tribes that are invited to take part of the 2022 Ateke Carnival include the Kumam, Toposa, Nyangatom, Turkana, and Maasai, who all share similar aspects when it comes to culture and heritage.
We are here to enjoy our culture, our heritage. We are here to see that we unite as Ateke people.
Cecilia Anyakoit from Karamoja sub-region, one of the people who attended the event, says it has brought a lot of color, reignited the passion and the spirit of brother and sisterhood.
We are quite many in the whole of the Horn of Africa and East Africa. Here in Uganda, we are Iteso, who fill parts of the eastern Uganda and then parts of western Kenya. Then we have the Karamojong, who spread throughout the more northeast. And then we have the Kumam, who are located in the east. Then in Kenya, we have the Turkana. In Ethiopia, we have the Nyangatom. In Sudan, we have the Toposa.
Like all other carnivals, people came dressed in cultural attires representative of their culture and heritage, and it was a mixture of blending belief and respect for one another. Away from neatly sewn threads, costumes, designs, and unique crafts, the competitions were held in different games, and people were also given the opportunity to showcase their traditional dances and moves.
Oh my God, I expect a lot of things. In fact, before I came, I expected to find local dishes, and that is what I'm really interested in. And apart from local dishes, I'm also expecting, of course, a variety of outfits, then our local songs, as you can hear.
I am so happy to be here, and I can't wait for another participation, though we are already holding it. And we are so happy as ITESOs to gather here to explore and to know more about our culture.
The traditional drinks were also served. Ajono, the traditional brew of ITESOt, was also at the center of attention, and arm wrestling competitions to show the alpha males from each tribe were held, exciting many.
Aker means a group of people with related culture, norms, and of course a shared history. That's what it means. Today we are here to celebrate what we call the Ateker Carnival, Uganda's biggest city networking cultural event for the Ateker people.
Isaac Oluport, the event organizer, says they plan to hold such events regularly and in different parts of the country.
We are going to be rolling out to Moroto on 17th of December, and within the same period we are looking at actually launching something in Soroti before we actually roll it out to Tororo and other districts where Ateker is currently involved.
Hope Nyongereza, CTV PM Edition.
Such a beautiful culture should indeed be celebrated. Now, Pastor Robert Kayanja of Luwaga Miracle Center has urged fellow pastors and leaders in the country to desist from infighting. According to Kayanja, this will help bring an end to disunity among believers. Kayanja was meeting over 700 pastors in Nabwewanga, Masaka district. Take a look.
For the last couple of months, there has been misunderstandings among the leaders of the born-again faith in Uganda, something they say has affected their service delivery. In a bid to foster unity, senior pastor and head of Luwaga Miracle Center, Robert Kayanja, met with other pastors from the greater Masaka region, where he urged them focus on leaving a legacy and supporting oneness among Ugandans.
They should work to leave a legacy. That a legacy is something that you have to work with your family, with your community, so they should work to leave a legacy. If Ugandans will become one, and I don't think we'll ever be united as Ugandans, but we can be one. We can agree on certain things. For example, fighting hunger, we can agree, and we become one voice. Fighting poverty, we agree. Fighting corruption, we can be one.
Kayanja, while meeting over 700 pastors and preachers in Nabwewange, Masaka district, says born-again Christians should believe in miracles and themselves. He has urged to also support the government programs, such as the parish development model, in order to fight poverty.
Some of the programs the government has they're very good. If we have faithful people, which I believe pastors are not corrupt, if they run these programs, then they will reach where the people are. So parish model needs to be supported by pastors because they're leaders of the people, and they have got the congregation. In themselves, there is a parish within the pastors. So that is also going to be good.
He says pastors should build good relationships with their believers through integrity.
I think they already have the people, and they have got the 3/4 of what is needed: integrity, morality, and love for people. So all they need is resources.
Some members of the born-again fraternity also had these views to share.
Natuganta okulunda tekikwetagisa kulundira wantu wanene n'awantu abatono sobola okulundirawo ate nojjamu amakungulanga mangi.
Kwegamba tubeeraawo nga tulinako kye tukoleka ayogambye nti First Muganda yali mulunzi.
Born-again faith, which was introduced in Uganda 40 years ago, started with only 700 believers, but the population has grown to over now 6 million believers.
It is not good news in Sudan as the death count rises to 52 with 25 wounded. A lot of property is also destroyed after torrential rains flooding various states in the country. And in Egypt, a fire outbreak leaves dozens of worshippers in a Coptic church dead. Here are the details. Sudanese state media reported Saturday that flooding caused by torrential rains in Sudan have killed at least 52 people and damaged or destroyed thousands of homes. Heavy rains usually fall in Sudan between May and October, and the country faces severe flooding every year, wrecking properties, infrastructure, and crops. Abdul Jalil Abdurrahim, spokesman for Sudanese National Council for Civil Defense, said a total of 52 people have been killed and 25 others wounded due to torrential rains and floods since the beginning of the fall season. Abdurrahim said 5,345 houses had been destroyed and 2,862 damaged across Sudan. Other public facilities, shops, and agricultural lands were also damaged. He noted North and South Kordofan states, River Nile State, and South Darfur were among the most affected across Sudan. In a Monday report, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, estimated that around 38,000 people across Sudan had been affected by rains and floods since the start of the rainy season. The organization also stated about 314,500 people were affected across Sudan during the rainy season of 2021. Dozens of people have died after a fire broke out at a church in Egypt, many of them crashed during a desperate scramble to escape. Officials say the number of the dead is at least 41, with dozens injured. Children are believed to be among the dead. Security sources say an electric fire broke out as 5,000 worshippers gathered for mass at the Coptic Absifin church. They say the fire blocked an entrance, causing a stampede. Fire services say the blaze has been brought under control. The exact cause of the fire is not clear. However, Father Farid Fahimi from another nearby church in the Ibamba neighborhood stated that it was caused by a short circuit. Worshippers have been explaining their moments since the blaze ignited. The exact cause of the fire is not yet clear. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi offered his sincere condolences to the families of the innocent victims that have passed on to be with the Lord in one of his houses of worship. The prosecutor's office said it had sent a team to the scene to investigate the cause of the blaze. Giza lies just across the Nile from Cairo and is part of the Greater Cairo metropolis. Coptic Christians make up at least 10 million of Egypt's 103 million people. Copts claim they face discrimination and play a lesser part in Egyptian public life than their numbers justify. Now, former Prime Minister Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, has applauded India's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, for resisting U.S. pressure on Russian oil and enforcing India's foreign policy that serves its people. In Afghanistan, Taliban fighters assaulted women and fired in the air to disperse women who were protesting against the new government's discriminative policies against women. They termed them as a move to make women invisible in society. Take a look. There have been several occasions where Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has praised India for its strong independent foreign policy. He often expressed admiration of the Indian establishment for buying Russian oil in large quantities and defying sanctions imposed by the US following the invasion of Ukraine. He has often used India's strong policy to drive home the point that Pakistan's ruling coalition government, headed by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, is meek in pursuing its own interests. On Saturday, Khan went a step further to express his appreciation by playing out a video clip of India's Foreign Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, during his mega Lahori rally. He pointed out how India is buying Russian oil despite Western pressure, while Pakistan is struggling to secure its people's interests. India, which got independence a day after us, is able to take a firm stand and design its foreign policy as per its people's needs. Then why are they towing their line? Imran Khan asked. The Indian Foreign Minister clip Imran Khan was referring to was about an interaction session at the annual Bratislava Forum organized by the think tank Globsec in the Slovakian capital. Jaishankar, who was the keynote speaker, was responding to a question about India's Russian oil purchases funding the war in Ukraine. Days before the first anniversary of the hardline Islamists' return to power, Taliban fighters forcefully dispersed a rare gathering in the Afghan capital on Saturday by beating protesting women and firing into the air. The Taliban have reversed the slight advancements gained by women throughout the 2 decades of US operations in Afghanistan since taking power on August 15th last year. An AFP correspondent said that some 40 women marched in front of the Education Ministry building in Kabul while chanting food, work and freedom. But fighters dispersed them by firing into the air. Taliban fighters followed and clubbed some female demonstrators with their rifle butts after they sought safety in adjacent stores. Demonstrators carried a banner that read August 15th is a black day as they demanded rights to work and political participation. Justice, justice, we are fed up with ignorance, they chanted, many not wearing face veils. After taking control last year, the Taliban had promised a gentler version of the strict Islamist rule that characterized their first term in power from 1996 to 2001. But in order to conform to the movement's severe interpretation of Islam, numerous limitations have already been put in place, particularly for women. Many government occupations are no longer open to women, and tens of thousands of girls have been excluded from secondary education. Additionally, women are now only permitted to visit the public gardens and parks in the capital on days when men are not present. Long-distance solo travel is also no longer permitted. Hibatullah Kudzanda, the head of the Taliban and the country's ultimate authority, commanded women to completely cover themselves in public, including their faces, preferably with an all-encompassing burqa. The Taliban regime has received harsh criticism from the UN and human rights organizations for its treatment of women. At first, a few Afghan ladies protested modestly by pushing back against the limits. However, the Taliban quickly apprehended the ringleaders and imprisoned them without charge while maintaining their innocence. While we take a short break, when we return, you get to see what is in the world of sports. You're watching PM Edition on CTV. In our sports news, the Uganda Rugby Sevens team has bowed out of the 2022 Rugby Sevens Challenger Series Championship in Chile after suffering a defeat at the hands of Germany in the quarterfinals. After a successful outing at the just concluded 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom, the national rugby team traveled to Chile to compete at the 3-day championship. The details.
And they turned it over well, have Uganda. There's the offload, and Afoyworth is in again.
He just passed it though, would have been his hat-trick.
The World Sevens Challenger Series, which are currently taking place at the Santa Laura Stadium in the capital of Chile, Santiago, have 12 countries competing at the world stage, such as Kenya, Japan, South Africa, Argentina, Jamaica, Zimbabwe, among others, and Uganda at large. Uganda let the World Rugby Sevens Challenger Series dream slip right through their hands in the quarterfinals after leading 14-0 with tries from Ian Munyani, Philip Wokorach, and good performances from players like Adrian Casito, Timothy Chisiga in the first half, but lost the match 14-17 to the Germans to bow out of the championship with the last try by German captain Carlos Soteras in a highly competitive game.
Wokorach, high tackle, it's all happening out there. Almost 90 seconds into added time. Germany need a try to win it. One more pass, Soteras, Mertz is over the line for Germany.
National team captain Michael Wokorach had this to say after the loss and Uganda's performance at the tournament.
I can say there's a lot of improvement in the team, and you could really see we gave Germany a run for their money. Things happened on the pitch, everyone saw what really happened, but we didn't lose hope as a team. We tried to lift ourselves up and ensure we come back strong and win our next game, which we have just played against Tonga. We won it 26-19. It was a very tough game considering what happened yesterday. The spirits of the boys were a bit low, but then we had to pick up ourselves to ensure that we give back the glory to ourselves and for all the hard work we've been doing. Yes, we won that game, and we're just waiting in for the next game, which is 6th place against Hong Kong. And the boys are in high spirits, and they want to go all out, and I think we can do it. So we just ask Ugandans to pray for us, believe in the team, don't give up on us. We are not giving up on ourselves. I'm very sure we can do something good for ourselves.
At the 2022 World Rugby Sevens Challenger Series Championship, Uganda managed to beat Uruguay in the opening game 26-12 before humbling Lithuania 26-19 to reach the quarterfinals, where they lost to Germany. All is not lost for the Uganda Rugby Cranes, as they will compete in the classification matches for positioning at the championship, which was last held in 2020, where they finished 7th overall. Saika Sin Sekalala, CTV PM edition.
Here comes Uganda, looking to retake the lead, and he will get his try, Casito.
Well, it has been a pleasure hanging out with you this weekend. I'll leave you in the hands of Gerard, who has a very interesting movie for you to watch. Don't miss it. I'm Kalachi Brian with Isaac Richards. Wish you a good night.